Welcome to another edition of New Life, the Midwest edition, man. We coming to you from the Midwest, the Rocktown, Illinois, my old stomping ground, Rock Island, Illinois. And it's my pleasure to have with me today my brother. It's Big Spencer. You know, to be here, man, in his presence, man. I told him I was coming to see him, man. Yeah, he held me down, you know, a long time, man, when I was sick and everything, man. And you know, it's one of my brothers, man. I told you I was gonna come get you, man, and everything, man.
Yeah, man.
Good to have you on here, man.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. You're gonna make my ratings go up. You're gonna make my women, you know, ask me who you is and stuff like that. I'm just gonna give you a phone number, man, and
Hey,
we gonna go from there, brother.
Free agent.
Anywho, man, what's the business, man? How you been, brother?
I've been good, man. You know, and like you said, you came here to talk about health, you know, and just recognizing health. You know, a lot of people avoid doctors and, you know, avoid going to check on themselves, even if you feel all right. Everybody feel good till you don't. And
Facts.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Facts, man, and we rap all the time, man, and we talk about all kind of stuff, man. And the main thing we talk about is health and wealth. And the thing about it is, man, like you can have all the wealth in the world, man. It don't mean nothing if you don't have your health. You can't spend $1 million. I know people that had the disease that I had anyway, and they were millionaires and they passed on, man. And little old me, we survived, man. So because they didn't take care of it. So like you said, man, you can have all the money in the world, but it don't mean nothing if you don't take care of yourself, man. Like you said, an ounce of prevention, you know,
Worth a pound of cure.
Or a pound of cure, brother. So. Like you said, give me some of the stuff that's been going on with you, man. With your health and stuff like that. I know you've been a full, what are you, vegan, right?
Nah, I can't do vegan. I'm a vegetarian. Though.
Okay, I know you don't eat meat.
I just don't eat meat. No flesh for me. No flesh on my plate. That's all.
And he ain't lying, man. I've been with this man all over, man. Cali, Vegas, everywhere. He run me, man. He drink Starbucks coffee, man, and eat once a day. And when he eat, he just eat like potatoes and all that other stuff, like, you know, no meat at all. I don't see how he do it. And he be rolling, man, over a cup of Starbucks, man.
You gotta understand, you know, at one time, you know, I was up to about 315. That's the biggest I ever been in my life.
All right.
I'm 6'2", almost 6'3". It didn't look like it, but it felt like it on me. So there came a time to where the reason why I'm a vegetarian, one of the main reasons is I had a health scare about 12 years ago. No, about 11 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you, man. What happened?
Like I said, I was a bigger guy, you know. Years ago, I had a health scare with myself. I was bigger than I am now. I was up to about a little over 300 pounds, but I had been feeling heavy and, you know, short of breath and things like that. And, you know, I smoked cigarettes and all that at the time. Smoked weed, cigarettes, was disobeying my own body, not listening to myself. So one day I'm sitting there, one day I walked up the stairs, felt like I was about to pass out. I'm like, hold up, man, I ain't did nothing but walk up the stairs. So I go driving in the car, I'm sitting down. I walked out the car in the store, came back to the car, I was tired. I'm like, oh, something's wrong, man. Something, you know, that's me listening to myself. I'm like, man, I need to go to the hospital. This ain't right. I'm not supposed to be tired and I'm not doing nothing. I go to the hospital and they said that I was having an AFib episode. I didn't know anything about AFib or anything like that.
Right.
And I was 31, 32.
Right.
So,
heartbeat abnormal.
Yeah. Abnormal heartbeat.
Yeah.
And they said I was up to almost 200 beats a minute, constantly.
Sheesh.
Just constantly, nonstop. I mean, it didn't feel like it, but my body was feeling like I was running a marathon constantly. So they ended up having to defibrillate my heart to shock my heart back into rhythm. And the first thing my doctor told me was, you know, we're going to have to put you on this kind of medicine and that kind of medicine and this and that to avoid stroke. I said, was there anything I can do to, you know, lighten my load? He's like, yeah, you can try to lose some weight or, you know, change up your diet and this or that. I said, okay, well, I'm going to do that because he prescribed me a medicine, a blood thinner, but it wasn't agreeing with me. It had me breaking out in hives, and I'd scratch myself, there'd be a bruise. So I told him I can't take this stuff. He's like, well, you're going to really have to change it up, man, and try to do something on your own part. So I basically stopped eating meat, and it wasn't that the meat stopped me from, you know, it made me lose weight. It just kept me from eating stuff that I would normally eat. Like somebody pull up with a pizza or something, or anything like that. Now I got meat on it. That just make me avoid it. And then it just became a lifestyle, you know.
How long did it take you to adapt to that lifestyle?
to really adapt and just,
And I know it was hard.
I mean,
Being a carnivore, then go off into.
yeah, cause you know, man, I still, you know, like I said, I don't care what anybody else eat. It's about what I eat. I still, I feed my son meat. I can still cook. You know, I was a pit master on the barbecue.
Right, I
Man.
remember. I remember.
It's not that I'm against meat or anybody's lifestyle or what they do. It's just about what I do and what I know kept me from becoming, you know what I'm saying, just eating anything that's in my face. Because, you know, like I say, you know, I use marijuana, so that makes you just, sometimes some guy come, you might not even be hungry, you just eating. So it kept me from just eating anything, pretty much.
Okay.
So that went on to become pretty much a lifestyle. It's been like 11 years, 12 years since I ate meat.
Sheesh.
And it's been 11 years since I smoked a cigarette. I've been at a constant weight of about 270, 275 ever since, though.
How's you feeling overall?
Oh, I feel great, man. That was the thing. That's kind of what jolted me into the vegetarian thing, man. I'm talking about I had so much energy when I stopped eating meat.
Right.
Non-stop energy. I'm talking about non-stop energy. And the women definitely let me know. boy, you on them little blue diamonds?
Yeah.
No. No.
The Rock. The Rock.
Nah, none of that. Just, you know, just a lot of energy from, you know, being cleansed pretty much. Because, you know, and then you start learning stuff about it after a while. You know, meat kind of clogs you up, man. It's heavy on you. It's hard as you get older, it's harder to digest.
Yeah, I'm leaning more to that way with my diet right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't do the fried foods and stuff like that no more. I eased off of that stuff, and I hardly eat. You know, my palate is limited, man. I only do like, you know, like the baked chicken or the grilled shrimp or something like that, or I do something like, you know, something light. I try to keep it light. I don't try to eat that heavy stuff. Like, especially, you know, I was a Popeyes king, man. So Popeyes, any chicken, you know that. You know, but then you turn me on the El Pollo Loco in Cali.
I introduced them to, they grill their chicken.
Oh my God. Bro, I'm telling you, I fell in love. I wish they made it in Georgia, man. If they had it in Georgia, I eat that junk every day. Shit. And then he got the treadmill. The reason y'all see me on the treadmill, this is the reason why I got the treadmill.
Oh, so okay. See, I didn't even get into that part of the lifestyle.
This is before I even got sick and stuff like that. He got what you used to call it. You know, I call mine a Cadillac. What you call that one at first? Yeah,
the Bentley.
Yeah, the little Landis joint.
Yeah.
But see, mine's got. Me and X was watching last night some videos of it. He didn't know I got a fan on mine to cool me down. You understand? So
but see,
that's why I got the
Escalade.
I got the Escalade. You know,
you get comfortable. It's part of the
all
lifestyle.
Bells and whistles.
If you ride in a hoopty, you want to ride in a nicer car. I mean, seriously, if you like to ride, because that's what kind of got me into the lifestyle.
And then
I got used to exercising, and I moved out to the West Coast, and I'm hiking mountains and all. I got all this energy, I need to burn it.
Right.
So from city to city, anywhere I moved, I had to get exercise. You know, I'm going to a gym. When I had a condo in Vegas, I'm in the gym at my condo every day on the treadmill. So then the pandemic hit.
This is all facts. I've been to all of them. I've been.
The pandemic hit though, and I came back here, and I'm like, man, wasn't no gyms open, wasn't nowhere. I'm like, man, ain't no mountains to hike around here, nothing. So I'm like, man, I got to get a treadmill. I bought a treadmill the first month I moved back, and like I say, I was on 2020. Just forward with the treadmill, just trying to stay constant with it. But then, you know, as you say, health comes to remind you, you know, hey, man, you got to do a little more and take a little better care of yourself.
Then you had a recent scare too, man, not too long ago, man. Scared. How long were you in the hospital with that? And tell everybody what was going on with you with that.
2022, April of 2022, I was in Phoenix, and like for 3 days I had been feeling like real lethargic and just tired for no reason. Nothing wrong with me, nothing physical, nothing bothering me or anything. I was just tired. And I'm like, man, I thought, you know, I've been smoking too much weed or been just, you know, being a little hard on myself. And I'm like, nah, something's not right. Mm-hmm. So I slept for 12 hours straight. I had a flight to catch in the morning to fly back here. I slept for 12 hours, got up in the morning, went to the airport and was still tired. Got on the plane, slept on the plane all the way here. I'm like, man, this is crazy. I've never slept this much in my life. I'm sleeping probably 18 hours out of the whole day. I get here, my mom picked me up from the airport, brought me home. I said, Mom, if I go to sleep, I need to go to the hospital. Something's wrong. I don't feel right. And I think, I was getting chills and stuff too. She came downstairs like, hey, she woke me up. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta go to the hospital. Ain't no reason my body's telling me something. You're not supposed to be this tired. I go to the hospital. They tell me I have internal infection in my abdomen, a gas infection from a small gangrenous infection. Like it's on the inside of me though. It's not. They had to do a CAT scan on my abdomen to find it. And when they found it, they said, man, if you would have came in the next day, they said they checked my blood and I was going into septic shock from an infection. So they had to operate I was in the hospital at 10 o'clock at night. I was in surgery by 6 in the morning. And they had to cut me open and all kind of stuff and clean me out. And it was crazy, man. And then after that, I was immobilized pretty much, let me see, from April to probably August. I was pretty much, the people around me wouldn't know it, but I was pretty much helpless, man. I'm not the type of person I'm a pretty strong person when it comes to that. I'm not going to burden anybody with trying to help me, recover because I want to see how strong I really is. I want to push myself, and I really pushed myself, man. I came back from it, and it was a lot of healing, man. A whole lot of healing from that.
I remember, man. Me shook a little bit, man, because it never took you that long to bounce back from nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but at the same, I didn't mean to cut you off, but at the same time, things like that, when I say recognizing your body and when your body's telling you something, don't ignore it. And I know a lot of people that have done that, and they're gone. Just because they didn't want to go to the doctor, I don't know what's wrong, man, I'm sick, or they'll do some home remedy and think that's going to work. Nah, you can't be scared of the doctors, man. They told me 24 hours later, had I come in the next day, putting it off, that would have been it. They couldn't have saved me. Right. Because I was in the hospital for 3 weeks.
I remember. I told you. I was talking to you. I said, man, you're not at the hospital. He said, big dog. That's when I got nervous.
Yeah.
A week. All right. And he said, now you got to stay another week. I was like, hold on, man. Something going on. During that time, I was going through healing as well. So I was like, dang, man, we was just in Cali kicking it. And then I had found out like a month later. Remember we was for the BET Awards. We was in Cali.
Yep.
And then like a month later, I found out that I had, cancer or whatever, then stage 4 or whatever, and I had to shut everything down and go through everything I went through. And then when I got healed, I had surgery in January 2022. Then I was just coming, just getting back to life. Then you took off right after that, and I was like, God dang. And he was like, in a couple of weeks, I was like, he was like, man, he's still in the hospital.
Yeah.
I talked to X, and then I talked to you. I was like, man, you straight? I'm good, big dog. I'm getting out X, Y, Z, and then you didn't get out, and I was like, man, he really good, or he just saying he good? You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta understand, coming from somebody like me or you,
right,
that move around so much, being stuck and sitting down, and that's not normal to people.
Man.
Well, what you just say? We was just out in
Cali.
We was just
out. Looked like was nothing wrong.
When we was out there in LA during the pandemic. I'm talking about. We was driving on the freeway. The 10 is nobody on it. The 101, nobody. We were the only car on the freeway in Los Angeles.
It was scary.
No right-handed guy.
It was scary.
It looked like what's the show? The Walking Dead or something, man. This was
downtown LA. Remember we got?
Yeah, this was
looked like Apocalypto.
This was about probably May, June, right when everybody was scared. We was at the hotel watching the body count on TV go up. It was crazy, man. It was just, and that goes into health too, man. Leading up to living through the pandemic. Let him out.
But man, we had he ain't lying, man. It was scary, man.
Let him out.
It was scary. The flights, I called him. I said, man, I'm flying up, man. I said, look at this airport, man. Remember I showed you? I said, I'm on the train by myself. And then I was on a plane. It only had like 7 people on the plane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Empty airports.
It was crazy, man. We was in the middle of that stuff. Remember, they didn't even want to take the money. It was like, just put it right here. Just put your stuff right here. Just sign right here. Like, they wouldn't even take the money from us in the hotel. Like, it was like to pay for the stuff. It was crazy, man. And then they wasn't taking cash anyway. Everything. That's when we really thought it was the end of the world because they wasn't
Yeah.
even taking cash. I'm talking about when we were in California in the pandemic, like in the heart of it. Like people, it was crazy. People had hazmat suits
They
on,
was
everything.
scared. Everybody was
I
scared.
thought the world was coming to an end. We was in
And what did I tell you? Though, even this goes back to health. What I tell you then? I said, man, it sounded to me like a bunch of unhealthy people are dying.
yeah, that's what he said.
I swear, I said that. That's in the
what he said.
beginning. They said when they was talking about the prior ailments.
That's what he
But
said.
a lot of those prior ailments could have been prevented.
Right.
It was a
And-
lot of overweight people dying, a lot of elderly people with prior things that through earlier in their life had gained or came along with in life. You know, it's just a lot about health that you gotta keep up on, man. You know, and living through the pandemic, man, being healthy up until then. If I was still 300 something pounds, who knows if I would have made it through that.
You know who else who didn't pass away? Remember we was talking about this too. You know who else didn't get affected or didn't die, and they had a lot of money during that time? The homeless people. Remember?
Yeah. And what I tell you, I said, man, their immune systems are impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
They already been in the middle of it.
Yes, sir. That's what he said. He said, "E, they ain't gonna." He said, "They ain't
That's
gonna
not
listen."
gonna harm them at all.
They were the
exposed to
only
everything.
people out on the street.
Yep,
The
that's
only
it.
people out on the street were
I said,
homeless
man,
people.
They out here living with typhus and the plague and stuff.
He
You
said,
think
"This
they
ain't
worried
nothing to them." He said, "Man, they straight." He said, "They ain't gonna get sick, man." I'm like, "Look, they moving around, going around, just like ain't nothing. Everybody masked up. It was wild, man."